I'd like to call to order the, hold on a second, March 21st, 2023 Brooklyn City Board of Education. Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Try. Mr.
All right.
Mr. Cyngier?
Here.
Ms. Krall?
Here.
Mr. Slattery?
Here.
Mrs. Bartczak?
Here.
Mr. Neale?
Here. Everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next order of business is comments from visitors. In order for the board to fulfill its obligation to complete a planned agenda in an effective and efficient fashion, a maximum of 30 minutes of public participation as it pertains to school-related topics will be permitted at each meeting. Each person wishing to address the board will approach the podium and state his/her name and address. If several people wish to speak, each person will be allotted 3 minutes until the total time of 30 minutes is used. During that period, no person may speak twice until all who desire to speak have had an opportunity to do so. The period of public participation may be extended by a vote of the majority of the board. Anybody? Anybody? All right, we're gonna move on to Superintendent's report. Dr. Colares.
Good evening, Mr. Neale, Board of Education. Want to say happy spring. Yes, it's still chilly outside, right, Mr. Lees, but it is officially spring. Can't believe we're almost 3/4 of the way done with the school year. Very excited and proud of all the growth and progress of our students this school year. A couple shout outs. I want to welcome Mr. Scott officially to his first regular board meeting. So welcome, Mr. Scott. It's been a pleasure working with him over the last month or so in the treasurer's office. A few updates and acknowledgements for the board, just kind of as a reminder and things as we have coming up. End of the third quarter is this Thursday for students. There will be no school this Friday for end of the quarter on Thursday for students. Friday will be no school for students. We've been waiting for that that snow day. We haven't gotten one yet, but they will have a day of rest on Friday.
Mrs. Bartczak's son will be.
Yeah, I know. He may tweet me or something, right? Want to congratulate our treasurer's office, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Maurer, Mr. Scott, and Mrs. A. They received the Ohio Auditor of the State Award for financial reporting for 2022, and I think I put the certificate at everybody's place, so congratulations to our treasurer's office. I want to congratulate our winter athletes on a successful winter season and wish best of luck to our spring softball, baseball, and track student athletes. One item of note, this Wednesday, we are holding our first track meet at Brooklyn Stadium in the first time in over 4 years. And so I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but
It's a big deal.
it absolutely is a big deal. It helps our students. It brings us a sense of pride, and I just want to thank the board for supporting that project. It was not easy. It was costly. And so looking forward to seeing our kids participate at home. So thank you very much. This Wednesday, the 29th. It'll start at 4:30. It's a quad with
A week from tomorrow.
Valley Forge, a couple other teams, Independence, and one
You're
more.
talking this Wednesday or the following Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, the 29th. Yes. We have an academic state champ in our Business Professionals of America from Polaris, Senior Riley Wilson.
Yep.
In financial management, was first place in the state. We have a top 10 team performance in the competition of financial portfolio management, and that is junior Olivia Callahan. So congratulations to both of our students there. This week is our annual spring musical, Sister Act. Performances on Thursday and Friday at 7 o'clock, Saturday at 2, and Saturday at 7. Also a reminder that we have our senior citizen preview this Thursday at 10 a.m. We'll have donuts and coffee starting around 9 o'clock. Right now we have about 40 seniors registered for Thursday, and if you're still interested in attending that preview, you can call Mrs. Baker at 216-485-8112. Want to wish everybody a wonderful spring break in a couple weeks and an outstanding fourth quarter.
And that is my report.
Thank you, Dr. Claris. On to Mr. Scott.
At this time, there's no report.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. On to board members and committee reports. Mrs. Bartczak.
I'm gonna make mine very short, since I'm reading tonight, that, I would like to wish everyone good luck and, best of luck. What do they say? Break a leg when you're in the, for plays, break a leg?
Yes.
Break a leg to all the kids who are participating in the play and all of our crew and everyone who did everything to get it ready. Have a wonderful time this weekend. I know it's a very special event for a lot of our students. And I'd like to wish our spring, which is kind of weird to say because it's freezing still as far as I'm concerned, our spring athletes good luck. And as they start baseball next week, I bet you it's 30 degrees next week when they start
rainy.
baseball. And rainy and cold. And I've never understood that. Our football fall season, we can be sweating in the stands, but come baseball, we're freezing, wearing winter coats and have hand warmers. But that's such is Ohio. So wish all of them good luck. And if anyone would like to speak to me, I can always be reached at 216-406-4304. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. On to Ms. Krall.
I just have a couple things. The Finance Committee will be meeting on March 31st at 8:30 in the morning. There's a domestic abuse meeting on Thursday, the 23rd at 6 o'clock at Panera, where I think the discussion is about an event for April for, I think it was like Child Abuse Awareness Month. And April 1st, here at the high school from 10 to 2 is the PTA Craft and Vendor Show. We have 17 so far, and it's very exciting. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. On to Mr. Sanger.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just want to thank Dr. Claris for setting up the State of the Schools report on April 19th. Look forward to that. And congratulations to the Treasurer's Office for the district, the State Auditors State Auditors District Award for 2022. That's great. I think a lot of it might have to do with our setting up the checkbook in the state of Ohio. You know, I wish it'd be more popular around the state of Ohio, but it's not with a lot of school districts, so it's good that we signed on. I think that helped us, plus a clean audit report.
Yep.
Congratulations to our academic state champions. My field of expertise, financial literacy, I love it.
Yeah.
Great. It's exciting.
It's sorely needed out there. And then, I concur the 3/31/23 Finance Committee report at 8:30 a.m. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Sanger. On to Mr. Slattery.
Thank you. As far as Facilities Committee, we have one coming up. Rec Board meeting was scheduled for last night, but it was canceled due to family emergency of the Rec Commissioner. That'll be rescheduled. Curriculum, we have a meeting scheduled for the 30th, so there'll be an update from myself and Mrs. Bartczak after that. School play, hope to see everybody there. They did a great job last year, and I'm sure they'll do us just as proud this year. And then lastly, I'd like to say, as far as summer help, work details and things like that, the Brooklyn Acres is hiring. We can hire up to 10 kids. It's $10 an hour. You'll push a mower, weed whacker, stuff like that. Good, honest work, but we'll work around any kind of school requirements or summer school classes, anything like that, and sports schedules. We're very flexible schedule-wise. We just want to get the kids in the neighborhood, getting out there helping, cleaning up, and learning some simple trades. So you can contact me, 216-906-2577, and Mr. Hare is also taking names for students that want to work. So I appreciate that. That's all I have.
All right. One of my committees, the Technology Committee, the next time the Technology Committee will be meeting is March 29th at 9 a.m. in the Technology Office or the Superintendent's Office. We'll figure that one out as we go. The other thing is, today is World Down Syndrome Day, which is a special day for a lot of kids. As some of you may know, that takes a special place in my heart. When I come into school, and I was just here last week, it's probably the first room I go to when I visit. Those kids are special kids, so it's a special day too. So I'd like to say thank God for those kids too as well. Polaris Robotics event for the middle school. We got the 8th graders, got a first team, and the third. I don't have individuals, but there were some individuals. Teachers, Ron Goodwin and Bonnie Romano, they do a wonderful job. That's another room, that's one of the first rooms I come to. You guys should walk through it. It's pretty good. The kids enjoy it. It's actually one of the rooms that is quiet when you go through because they're in tune with that classroom, so it's enjoyable. I attended the business career fair that Supriya had last, and it was a nice event, very nice event. So I think we can keep that on an annual basis, even, I don't know about a semi-annual, but an annual basis would be nice. Give it a shot.
I agree, and, the nice thing is we did have some community members,
Right.
outside the school district that attended. So it's a positive event. We have to clean some things up and tweak a little bit.
Sure.
But ultimately, I thought it was a good event to
Right.
expose our students, our community to different opportunities that are not necessarily college bound. And we did have colleges there, so I
Correct.
think we were able to hit a lot of
Good,
different.
diverse.
Yeah, and kudos to Supriya and Matt Larson and her
Those
team.
kids that were monitoring it, they did a
were-
wonderful job too.
Yeah, they're good. So
Yeah.
it was a great event.
It
Thank
was a
you,
good
Ken.
event. I believe there's about 40 vendors, somewhere near that.
43, I think we had
Yeah.
43, but yeah, right
Yeah,
around
so it
there.
was a nice event.
Big
For
time
those
unions, there was a lot of good job offers there.
Yeah.
masonry, I've talked to a bunch of people, the bricklayers, the masonry people, I mean, everybody was there, everybody that wanted to hire people, and.
First Energy was there for their lineman program.
Right. There's some good
UH
jobs
was
out there. If
there,
you're not gonna go to
O'Neill
college.
Health. I mean, there were a lot of opportunities.
Right.
So, yeah.
Anyway, so we'll move on to that. My next it's more personal, but it's also Ohio High School. One of my other part-time jobs is, as all you know, is I'm a football official in the state of Ohio. And the Ohio high school officials are looking to hire people. And at Polaris on April 20th, we're having a all-sports officiating career fair. April 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Polaris. We're hiring basketball, football, lacrosse, soccer, anybody who wants to be an official in Ohio High School. You'll be able to meet every different sport will be there. So it'll be tables set up. The Cleveland Browns youth football is gonna be part of it. So it'll be a nice event. It's something that I'm putting together pretty much with the rest of the group. I am the president of the Cleveland Football Officials Association. So,
Mr. Neal, where's the location? Is it located right in the main entrance?
right, the main
That little
commons.
main-
Yeah,
okay.
the main commons. You're gonna come in from the side where the restaurant is.
Yeah.
Because the parking lot's bigger there, but it's something we're trying to do
Great.
because there is a shortage of every official in the state of Ohio, well, in the country, to be honest, by about 35%. In 2020, there were 374 Cleveland football officials. To date, there's 260, so we lost 1/3 of it.
Rocky, what's the age requirement to be an official?
16.
16.
16, your parents have to sign off.
Okay.
And if you come to any of our meetings, you see a bunch of old guys, so that's why we're gonna try to recruit.
Did you get any feedback on the payment system, the arbiter system?
What do you mean, pay?
Just the way the coaches, or the refs are getting paid. They used to get paid cash.
Somewhere, I mean, it's a system where, it's not a bad, I heard it's being changed already.
Is
So I've heard this year might be the last year for it, but it's pretty efficient. I think the schools like it because it's one check dump in, and then it goes out to everybody, from my understanding, from that.
There's a rumor that OHSAA is creating their own
They are,
system.
yeah.
So we haven't gotten anything from that perspective yet, but yeah.
So that's one of my jobs, my other part-time job that I love on Friday nights, and that's why people don't see me in Brooklyn, because I'm usually wherever I have a game at. Next is, Polaris is accepting bids from till March 24th, which is this Friday, for their pre-veterinary lab science, or science room and classroom. So that's pretty exciting. They're hoping to have the bids in and open by April, or actually, I think it's March 31st, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that, but it's soon. And then the process will be, hopefully it'll be by fall, it'll be done. Knock on wood, but now, you know how things are now.
Yeah.
And then, Mr. Claris or Dr. Claris stole some of my thunder. 3 students bring home state championships. Again, Riley Wilson, congratulations. Rick and I are in the financial world, so it's wonderful to see that. Olivia Callahan, that's awesome. So happy for you guys. Good job. It's not a bad career, and it'll be around forever if you want it to be. One of the other things is Polaris, they built the cabana, and there's a grant that went out. Stanley Black & Decker recently announced recipients of the second Global Impact Challenge, and Polaris won $50,000 worth of tools for all their construction programs. Automotive, building services, ground maintenance and construction, HVAC and welding technology, they all split up $50,000 worth of product. So that's not a bad gig. And then here we go. Pre-nursing students participate in Cleveland Clinic Aspire Nurses Scholars Program, and we had Laura Darden participating in for Brooklyn. So congratulations to her. And the last thing I believe I have for Polaris is today, percent of total students accepted, we're at the highest level. 51% of our kids are accepted at Polaris at this time. So number of applicants 70 and accepted students 57. By percentage, we're the highest accepted. So we're doing a good job, and all the classes are full with the exception of, there's always one, the exercise science is a little low, and then digital art and design needs a little help. So that's something they're looking at as well too. So, but the rest of the classes are quite full. And that's my last thing. And I believe that's the end of my report. I got myself all screwed up. Give me 1 second, get myself together, and we'll move on. How's that? All right, next. Our reader of the evening is Mrs. Bartczak. We're going to do the approval of minutes and financial statements. On to Mrs. Bartczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Resolved that the minutes of the Brooklyn Board of Education meeting be adopted and all action taken at the Board of Education, by the Board of Education at said meeting is hereby reaffirmed and approved.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll?
Mr. Slattery, I'm sorry, Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Mrs. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery,
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak,
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the financial statement of receipts and expenditures for the month of February, including all purchase order. I'm guessing February is supposed to be in there, or are we?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
it does say
yeah.
February in the column, yeah.
Yeah, in the comments, so
Mhm, yep.
February. Okay, including all purchase orders paid and all then and now statements for the month as submitted. Do we have to, since I added?
Well, it's,
Do I have to-
it's
okay,
no-
okay,
it's
okay.
noted.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Ms. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery,
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak,
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby authorizes the superintendent to enter into an agreement with ESCLC to provide professional development for up to 12 days of instructional technology support for North Technology Consultants for the 2023-2024 school year at the cost of $10,825 through grant funds, agreement on file in the treasurer's office.
Can I have a motion, please?
Someone,
Second.
Second, first and second here. Any questions, comments?
Just a question.
Mr.
Why
Cyngier?
are we going through Cuyahoga ESC for this, or are they all?
So this is, it's specific to Lorain County ESC. It's the only thing we do with Lorain County ESC. When I came in 2020, North, specifically, a guy by the name of Mike Triska, came in and helped us with some of our technology training for some of the online formats. Mike does a great job, and so we have Mike, those 12 days he comes in, does professional development. With our project lead, the way teacher that we're having next year, he's gonna come in and work with that staff member for some PD and really getting that class going. So it's just through the Lorain County on that one.
Anybody else? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Ms. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery,
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby authorizes the superintendent to enter into an agreement with Highland Speech Services, Inc., to provide ESY assessment therapy and consultant for speech language services from June 19th through July 28th, 2023, not to exceed 5 days. Agreement on file in the treasurer's office.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Ms. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Result that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the attachment agreement for CMSD for excess costs for children with disabilities pursuant to section 3313.981 ORC and 3323.14 ORC and rule 3301-48-02F for educational purposes for the 2021-2022 school year per the attachment.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Good. Questions, comments? Anybody? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll?
Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Ms. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the MOU agreement between the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education and Ohio Schools Council, OSC, for the attachment.
Can I have a motion, please?
So.
Second.
Yeah, second.
Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll?
Mr. Cyngier,
Or was it
Yes.
Mr.
Ms.
A?
Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the following adult chaperones volunteers for the Washington DC trip, May 17th through the 19th, 2023. Background checks are on file in the board office as noted.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll?
Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Ms. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the first reading of the following board policies as noted.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Questions, comments? Mr. A? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll?
3 years of habits, hard to break.
Yes,
That's
it's hard to
right.
break.
3 years of habits, that's okay.
Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Ms. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes. Sorry.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the deletion of the following board policies as noted.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments?
I just want to clarify,
Sure.
just so we're
Please.
clear. So 312009 and 412009 are policies on volunteers. We're not getting rid of the volunteer policy. That's actually moving to 8120. So we're just moving it from sections. So we still have our volunteer policy. We're just deleting it from that section. And then policy 2114 references state standards and grades for a report card. Well, we don't do that anymore, so that's why we're removing that policy.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Anybody else? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Did we have a motion?
Yeah. Oh,
No,
we didn't.
we did. Well, we went to
We
session.
had a motion. These two had the motion.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll say
Bonnie and
it.
Rob.
Yeah.
Bonnie and Rob.
Ronnie's it.
I
Rob's
moved,
it.
I motioned
Yeah,
it, Rob seconded it.
We might have, no, we did. We did.
Yeah, because there's gotta be any questions on
Mr.
the
Cyngier,
motion.
Yes.
Ms. Krall.
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Result that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the revised classified job description per the attachment, classroom assistant and head bus driver.
Can I have a motion,
So
please? Can I have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments?
Mr. Neal, just a point of clarification, we have 2 more left after this, the treasurer's office job descriptions. I'm gonna hold off on those until we have our new treasurer on board to finalize those.
Makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Makes sense. Anybody else? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll?
I'm getting lost here. Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Ms. Krall.
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes.
Okay, resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the employment of the following classified personnel for the remainder of the 2022-2023 school year. Jamie Kerr, building monitor, 7:30 to 8:45 a.m., 1.25 hours, Monday through Friday, effective 3/6/23.
Can I have a motion, please?
I will motion that one.
Second.
Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll?
Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Mrs. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mrs. Barcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Neale?
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves unpaid leave for Erica Kelly, bus monitor, for the following dates, April 3rd through April 6th.
Can I have a motion, please?
I'll motion that.
Second?
Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Zinger?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mrs. Barcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Neale?
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby accepts, with regret, the retirement of Barb Kuharic, effective at the conclusion of the 2022-2023 school year.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second?
Oh, yep,
Questions, comments? Go ahead.
whichever one, he motioned it and I seconded it.
All right.
I just want to say Barb is one of our classroom assistants in Mrs. Martsko's room, and she's a lot of energy, a lot of fun.
She is.
And wishing her congratulations on her well-deserved retirement, so, yeah.
Absolutely, that's, like I said, that's the classroom I go into first,
right,
and
that's right.
it's a doozy. So, Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Zinger?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mrs. Barcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Neale?
Yes.
The Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby commends Barb Kuharic for her service to the students of Brooklyn.
Can I have a motion,
I'll
please?
make the motion.
Second, someone.
I'll second it.
All right. Questions, comments, other than thank you very much for your
Thank
service?
you, enjoy your
Thank you.
retirement.
Exactly. Anybody else? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Zinger?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mrs. Barcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Neale?
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the following certified and classified resignations effective at the end of the 2022-2023 school year. We have Sarah Russo, 7th grade ELA, Mara Naruse, school psychologist, Julie Quintiliano, and preschool classroom assistant.
Should have run with as noted.
I know, I should have ran with as noted, I should have, I was thinking.
I'll be editing that.
I was thinking that, I'm like, I'm gonna try, but I should have gone with as noted. And I'll motion that.
All right,
I
have
will
a
motion
second.
that.
Second.
Questions, comments?
Question. Mira, was she under a contract or was she actually one of our,
Yeah, she was a Brooklyn school employee, yeah, she was an BA employee, yes,
I don't
right.
know why I thought she was.
Yeah, our school sites are all under our union. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Zinger?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mrs. Barcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Neale?
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the following athletic event workers for the 2022-2023 school year, as noted.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved,
I'll
Second. You got it, Rob.
Yes.
Questions, comments? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Zinger?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mrs. Barcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Neale?
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education, in accordance with ORC 3313.26, gratefully accepts the following donations. An anonymous donation of $1,190 to the Brooklyn School Principal Fund, a donation of $50 to the Sean Cierno Scholarship Fund from Allison Raptor, and a donation of $1,008 to the Sean Cierno Scholarship Fund from the Athletic Department.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Can I have a second? We got a second. Questions, comments? Thank you for your donations.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it. Anybody else? Mr. Scott, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Zinger?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mrs. Barcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Neale?
Yes.
Resolved that the Brooklyn City School District Board of Education hereby approves the following resolution approving filing of tax complaint against real property tax year 2022 on file in the Treasurer's Office.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. I'll motion that.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Got it. Questions, comments?
Who is Aurora?
So Claire, yeah, so last year, state legislature voted in House Bill 126. House Bill 120, so prior to House Bill 126, and John, tell me if I don't want to mistake here, but I know enough to be dangerous. House Bill 120, before 126, David Seed, tax attorneys, could, on behalf of school districts, file challenges to property evaluation without board approval. House Bill 126 put in a rule that there's a certain threshold and a certain timeline, and also it requires school districts to create board resolutions to file those challenges. So what tax complaint really means is a tax challenge to the property evaluation. So David, on behalf of us, will be filing the evaluation challenge on behalf of the district. But to do that,
Resolution.
we have to have a resolution. So we will get these throughout the school year and maybe with little to no notice, but Dave's pretty good and he's on top of it. So that's what this is.
Are they filing a complaint against us for overvaluation?
So what they're,
Or
yeah.
are we?
So what they're doing is I'll just use a general example here. Company A gets a property evaluation of $10 million. We believe that is too low. And so what Dave Seed has to do is he has to file that challenge against the company saying, hey, we do not believe it's $10 million, we believe it's $15 million. And so that's where this comes in. It's another loophole that school boards have to continue to go through. So this is completely new. We've never done this before because Dave was always able to do this as a representative of the board. Did I say that right?
You get an A.
Does that
So
explain
they haven't been
everything?
served a complaint yet. This gives authority.
That's exactly right. This is the authority on per 126 on our behalf. So Dave will go say, hey, we have a board resolution on March 21st. Here's the resolution number. Here's the signed filings by treasurer, superintendent, and board president. And then he does his thing.
So someone's bringing it to our attention.
Our attorney is bringing it to our attention. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
And if they file an appeal, that'll be brought to us.
That'll all go through Dave, yeah.
Anybody else? Thank you, Dr. Claris.
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
I know enough to be dangerous.
You got that right.
Mr. Zinger,
Yes.
Ms. Krall.
Yes.
Mr. Slattery.
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak.
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes. Does anybody have any correspondence-related action information? Does anybody have any other business?
One other item of business is something that actually Bonnie brought up, and that is the photographer. Did we look into TSSs at all?
Yeah, so what we'll do is, I'll add that to the list next year, that we'll look to include them in our bidding process next year.
Is there just not a whole lot of photographers?
There's not, I mean, I'll be honest with you, there's not, previous life, we had Life Touch, and Life Touch, we struggled quite a bit in this district and my previous lives in other districts. My biggest concern from going with another company, and again, I think the pricing is an important piece to everybody's point, but there's a technology side of things that we gotta make sure that we're able to do, so that will be part of those conversations with other companies. And I'll be honest with you, if you have other companies that you know of, Bonnie sent me the email on TSS, which is fine, it's probably time that we look and we just kind of do a refresh bid and let's see where we're at with things and let's look at pricing. But technology is a big piece of that to make sure that they can support, IDs and uploading to our student information system. There's a little bit more to than just taking the pictures. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Me and you were there, black and
Yeah.
white pictures, right?
So, but yeah, Rick, we'll include them.
Drew it on the cable.
We'll include them. We'll start this process up next winter. Okay?
The only other correspondence that I have is actually an invitation. And I apologize, I thought I had it in. I didn't. Is next Thursday, March 30th, from 4 to 6 o'clock, you're all invited to our bank's grand opening at 6400 Rockside Road. And,
Rockside Woods, right?
yeah. So
What's
that's
this
right
for?
on Rockside Woods North, right in the corner there.
What's this for, Rick?
This is for Union Savings.
Oh, okay.
And they plan on being a very active member of the community. They're based out of Cincinnati. They've been around since 1904, and they really love financial literacy for the kids, so.
I agree. Anybody else? Okay, announcement of next regular meeting, my glasses so I can see. Tuesday, April 4th, 2023, Treasurer's Office, Conference Room, 9200 Bidoff Road, Brooklyn, Ohio, 6 PM. Can I have a motion to adjourn,
I
please?
motion that.
Can I have a second?
Second?
I'm not gonna ask for any questions, comments. Mr. Scott, can you call that roll?
Yes. Mr. Cyngier,
Yes.
Mrs. Krall,
Yes.
Mr. Slattery,
Yes.
Mrs. Bartczak,
Yes.
Mr. Neale.
Yes. Okay, not bad.
Okay.
Good meeting.